Holy shit. The first-person shooter genre's days seem to be limited. There's an Activision lawsuit going on. Splinter Cell fans are pissed off, or should I say Ubisoft fans. Oy, lots of stuff to talk about, huh? Let's get right into it. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. So I thought I'd do this kind of like this today and just kind of do a little something different, have a little FaceTime. So it's been kind of a wild week, hasn't it? I've been kind of laying low over the last week and a half, give or take. And I just kind of just been watching things go on while kind of focusing on my own life while simultaneously trolling on Twitter. But I will say this, though. To every troll that I post on Twitter, there's also some truth to it. So, and you know, like they say, there's always two sides to a story and positives and negatives about everything or whatnot. To say what's been going on, especially over the last week or so in gaming, as well as good things to look forward to, and then all those things being destroyed by something very simple that just so happens to be very popular is, ooh. It's a little something, isn't it? So, but man, it's been a wild week. We just got more information about the Halo flights that are going to be going on next week, which are only going to be with bots. But eventually, I guess they're going to be doing future flights before release to where you can play with other people as well instead of just bots. But hey, I'll take anything we can get at this point because with Halo, it's been a long time coming, and I, for one, have been looking forward to that. And as you're looking on my screen over here, it says because you played Halo 5 Guardians. I've been playing a lot of Halo 5. But I've also been playing some other games here too, like Splitgate, Splitgate, yeah, Split Space, whatever. I always get it wrong. What the fuck? But I've been playing a lot of that as well, and just kind of just trying to enjoy myself as opposed to forcing myself to play COD. Those of you guys have been following me on Twitter, you guys will know the story behind that, all that good stuff. But anyway, so. Where to begin? I mean, in terms of this week, we got a crazy big-ass Activision lawsuit, which is absolutely disgusting if you've gone over the details. I mean, you don't really even need to go over the details. There's been plenty of content creators that have been talking about that. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting, and that's all I really have to say about that. There's really nothing more to say. If all that shit is true, then if all that's truly going on in their offices and stuff like that, it's absolutely inexcusable, if you ask me. And at the same time, there's also, let's see, Ubisoft USA announced XDefiant, which is basically like a Call of Duty clone made by an ex-Call of Duty developer who actually executively produces this game for Ubisoft. A lot of Ubisoft fans are pissed off because they didn't get another Splinter Cell game or another Ubisoft style game. Instead, they're getting something that quote unquote nobody wants. I'm sure a lot of the Call of Duty community has something to say about that in terms of the whole nobody wants this quote or whatnot. A lot of Call of Duty fans feel like they've definitely been betrayed and neglected, that's for sure. And they're not wrong. In terms of XDefiant, I personally think it has a lot of potential, especially since it's going to be free to play. It's probably going to be loaded up the wazoo with microtransactions and battle pass and all this stuff. Hopefully, it's just cosmetic only, and hopefully, skill-based matchmaking is not a thing because we all know skill-based matchmaking for me personally, skill-based matchmaking isn't as much of a problem, except for the part when you're playing solo and they stack all these good players against you while you have people that seemingly don't have thumbs on your team. In team-based games, that's the only thing I have a problem with. And in free-for-all, I actually don't have a problem with skill-based matchmaking at all. But that's just me personally. I don't have a problem with it. But long story short, strict skill-based matchmaking, especially in the way they do it in Call of Duty, just does not belong in games. There can easily be better forms of skill-based matchmaking. You can have, like for instance, in Halo, you have a softer version of it in the social playlist, and then you've got a very hardcore version of it in the competitive scene, understandably so. With Call of Duty, that's just simply not the case. It's definitely not as sophisticated, that's for sure. But obviously, with 6v6 multiplayer being an afterthought, a lot of people are actually looking forward to XDefiant. You've got Battlefield 2042 that announced their, what is it, the portal or whatever the hell it is, to where it just takes customization to a whole other level, and to where, like, for instance, they're basically saying, let's say you're a Call of Duty player and you want to play on a map that's 1/6 the size of our regular map, and you can have up to 64 players or whatnot on each team. You can do that if you want. You can have a very fast-paced, very Call of Duty-like-esque experience in a Battlefield game without the skill-based matchmaking. And at the same time, if you want it, customize the way you want it, with or without vehicles, with or without whatever, loadout restrictions, you name it, all that kind of stuff, like, out there to that degree, which is absolutely insane in a good way. So, because in the beginning, Battlefield 2042 was like, hey, this is cool, I'm looking into this. And then after a while, I realized as the kind of player that I am, that hey, that's Battlefield, and respectfully speaking to Battlefield, that's not me. So I kind of ignored it. And then once they announced this, then I'm like, okay, I can get my first-person shooter fixed the way I enjoy, and other players like myself that were or are COD players, or, like, let's say, arena shooter players that enjoy that style and that type of gameplay. There's something here for us. So this is actually very good for the Battlefield community, and it's another reason to be excited, not just for Battlefield 2042, but for the Battlefield community as well, because they, like Halo, for instance, have been waiting many years for a new sequel, and to a lot of people, Battlefield 5 just missed the mark. I personally don't fully understand why, because, again, I'm not a Battlefield player, but if the majority of Battlefield players are saying that, then I will take their word for it, and I will try to understand and reason with what they're saying. But again, I've never been a Battlefield player, so I never really looked that much into it. But in a basic formula, I kind of see where they're coming from. Kind of like when Advanced Movement came out in Advanced Warfare, I understood when a friend of mine said that they didn't get the game because it just wasn't Call of Duty for them. So it didn't feel like Call of Duty. So in terms of Advanced Warfare, so I totally get that. And for some people, same thing with Black Ops 3, same thing with Infinite Warfare. I respect their opinion. So there was something missing from Battlefield. So it looks like Battlefield is actually literally trying to give Battlefield players, as well as newcomers to the series, a way to have their cake and eat it too, which is great. That to me says we're going to support not only our community, but newcomers that are coming in, and we're going to give them an opportunity to have a truly customizable experience. We still haven't heard anything about Call of Duty. A lot of players, Call of Duty players and Call of Duty loyal players, are starting to give less and less of a shit, simply because of everything else that's going on. Now, and then you've got Halo around the corner as well. So a lot of people are saying that Halo and Battlefield is going to be the 1-2 punch that puts COD out of his misery. We're going to see how that happens. And then plus you got the legal stuff going on with Activision and former employees and all that kind of stuff. So, and then there's one more thing that we need to add into the mix. So in the DMs, I have some big content creators, I have smaller content creators, and I have everybody in between. And I have a few people that are a hell of a lot smarter than I am, because they also play on PC, and they're just very well aware of what's going on. They're more tech savvy than I am on the subject. So I get DM'd a video, a couple videos actually. And long story short, it's about undetectable, or should I say nearly undetectable, cheats and hacks that are coming to console, and that basically you can't do anything about them. And it's only a matter of time at this point, and it hasn't gone big yet, but it's only a matter of time, because once something gets on the internet, you know how that works. And there's also another video that was made by Simply Homeless, I think is the channel's name. And if you go and watch that video, and you see about all these hacks and explaining everything and how it's about to be, they're coming for console as well, not just PC. It basically goes to show you that the first-person shooter genre, the first-person shooter multiplayer genre, those days are limited. And I don't know whether it's going to be a matter of months, maybe a couple of years. I don't know. But this is a big problem, and it needs to be dealt with, because a lot of players... Now, I've been gaming for 30 years, and my gaming experience has ranged from everything from the single player games of every genre, except for maybe RPGs. I never got into RPGs, although I am starting to slowly take some interest in them, especially games that are more action oriented that have an RPG element into them. I really like that progression element. So I'm slowly, it slowly has been catching my attention. But I was first and foremost a very casual single player type of person. When I was getting into Call of Duty, which was around Black Ops 1, I was still very much an overall, like, I wanted to play everything, which is actually one kind of subconsciously one of the reasons why I have this in the background as well. Just a page uh, from Game Pass. But in other words, I'm a gamer. I can spend a ton of hours gaming in all sorts of different games, and with Game Pass now at my disposal and everybody else's disposal that has it, there's definitely, to say the least, there's definitely always going to be a plethora of games that we're going to be able to play and enjoy and have new experiences and make new memories out of. And for us content creators, even more content. However, there are, as time has gone on, I very much enjoy and prefer spending a lot of my time, if not a majority of my time, with multiplayer shooters. Now, I can always reverse that and go back into my single player roots or my co-op roots, or get into new games that I never experienced before, or play games that I wanted to play but I didn't because of my needing to scratch the itch to play a multiplayer first person shooter. So we basically have this reality to deal with in the in the very near future, that to where first person shooter multiplayer games may be nothing but an absolute hackfest, or should I say, uh, they'll be basically like what Black Ops 2 is today. So, and for 4 years after that game came out, it was basically the bread and butter of this channel back then. Shout out to those of you guys that have stuck around ever since then. I know I know at least 5 of you have. Um, but after a while, every single lobby became, you couldn't find a fresh lobby. Everything was cheated, hacked. The gameplay was altered. You could tell it just wasn't fun. Unfortunately, a lot of these people that do this find it fun for whatever reason. I personally don't understand why. Um, Contrary to some of the hate mail that I've gotten in my Xbox Live gamer tag or whatnot, um, I've never cheated, never will. By some of these people, I've been accused. It's what they do. You know, when people lose, they accuse you of cheating for no reason. They're going to say report it and all that kind of stuff. I personally have never ever cheated, never reverse boosted, never aimbotted, never done any of that shit. Um, so I personally don't understand it. But just because I don't understand it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be what the future is for first-person shooter multiplayer games. And that, to me personally, is very saddening. And the thing is, I feel like I don't know if there's anything we could do about it, because at the end of the day, if the majority of people enjoy playing like that, and cheating, and cheating against other cheaters, and to see who the better cheater is and all that kind of stuff, if that's the future of first-person multiplayer games, first-person shooter multiplayer games, or even other multiplayer games as well, I personally think that's sad. And it's something that, I mean, it's something that we better kind of enjoy the time that we have with first-person shooter multiplayer games and other multiplayer games while we have it, because I personally think, especially the way things have been headed, for those of you guys that have a brain, if you pay attention to social media, you can kind of see where things are headed. Especially for those of you guys that are older. And when you get older, you develop what I call eyes, you know, to where you can start to see things before they happen. And some of us develop that faster than others. So I just kind of wanted to make this vlog style video just to kind of put my thoughts out there, and to kind of just talk about this in a different style and fashion. So those are my thoughts on the matter. And I want you guys to tell me as well, what are your thoughts on the matter? Do you guys agree with what I'm saying? Do you guys disagree with what I'm saying? Do you think there's something that's going to be done to counter something like this? Let me know. What are your feelings on the matter? And granted, if it gets to this point, what are you guys going to do? And also, content creators out there, if you guys want to say anything in the comment section, please feel free to say, because when all of us, it's pretty safe to say that we're gamers, and we certainly choose one genre over the other, and some of us are a little bit more rounded. But as content creators, there's also another layer to our experience because we're in it just slightly deeper than the casual person that just gets on and plays a few hours and then logs off and doesn't do content creation and stuff like that. So I would like to hear your input as well. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it for what it was worth, and let your opinions be known down below. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.